What's the stupidest way you've gotten a scar? Saw some dirt on my toe while power washing. Figured I'd power wash it. Same, except it was my forearm. Ever see one of those power washers where it's a turbocharged diesel motor doing the compression? You can cut steel with that. Dude at work was using it and kinda turned around and didn't stop spraying in time while he did it. Blew a hole through his foot. It was over 20,000 pounds per square inch. First and only time I've ever used a chainsaw was after a bad ice storm in Seattle in December 2008. I used it for hours without hurting myself, but then when I went to put it back into the case, I slipped on ice and got a nasty cut on the back of my hand that left a bad scar. I felt stupid and still have the scar. I've got a chainsaw scar on my butt. Ha ha ha, memories. Girl in my 8th grade class was in the woods with her dad while he was cutting wood, and he started screaming. He accidentally touched her leg cause she got too close and the chainsaw ate to the bone. She didn't feel anything until she saw her leg. I was attacked by a duck as a kid. I have a scar on my left hand. So, you didn't duck. I was attacked by a rooster when I was a toddler. Still have a scar on my head near my temple. Birds be vicious. When I was a kid, I was playing with my younger cousin. I hid behind a recliner and when he came near, I stood up and he shot me with a Nerf gun. I said, no. And tried to die dramatically, but as I collapsed to the ground, there was a staple sticking out of the recliner which cut along the side of my torso. So yeah. Well, it had to look as really dramatical death. I can respect this. A friend took off his boxes and we set them on fire in the middle of the road. Let my friends heat up one of those knives that has the word cheese cut out of the middle on the open flame, then let them brand me with the cheese knife. The word cheese has been on my leg for 16 years now. Did you ever thought about tattooing Mackin in the other leg? This is truly impressive. So much happening, and none of it particularly bright. Ramen noodle burn. I mean that's actually weird. Care to elaborate? I have a Pop-Tart scar. Turns out you really shouldn't touch the lava hot frosting as you pull it out of the toaster. 2nd degree frosting burn. A bird flew into my chest, beak first. I feel like this is also the bird's story of the stupidest way I've got a scar. Now that's what I call pigeon's chest. I jumped into a spinning ceiling fan. Those aren't portals. I masturbated with toothpaste once when I was young. I still have a scar from where it burned on the tip of my penis. Edit, I'm pretty sure this is my first Reddit medal. Who woulda thunk it'd be from the time I scarred my penis? Regardless, thank you very much. That's cursed. Just use rubbing alcohol, made for rubbing. Metal folding chair to the cranium. Used to wrestle. It's a good visual aid to those who still make the F question about wrestling. Right, just because you don't get them hard enough to where you're trying to kill them doesn't mean it doesn't hurt like a motherfucker. Yeah, it may be fake in the sense that the moves look like you're trying to kill them but they're actually done in a fashion where it doesn't quite kill them. There's a reason that wrestlers' bodies are all F up and they die early. Wrestling's hard. Reaching into the toaster oven to get those chicken tendies, my bro was taking my sweet time because it was hot and heard a sizzle the whole time my hand was in there. Turned out it was my knuckle straight on the top burner. Still have a little crater there 10 years later. So how did you not feel the skin on your knuckle burning? Must have been a bad burn if your nerves didn't immediately yank your hand from out of there. Like, it's a reflex I can't do anything to stop besides maybe making sure I don't drop my hot pan or cookie sheet in my body's effort to prevent another burn scar. Like, seriously. Your body is supposed to get itself away before you even consciously feel the pain. To me, the burn is a secondary shock to having my arm just kinda twitch away from the oven rack with no conscious thought. Something is up with you, man. Or else you really did get burnt badly. Walking in front of an occupied swing. Swing had a nail on it and it went straight into my forehead. Was hospitalized and received stitches. That sounds like a death trap. I hope someone removed the nail afterwards. I was around 10 years old and riding a bike when I saw a banana peel on the sidewalk ahead of me. I immediately started to panic because of all the cartoon characters I'd seen getting sent into the air by them. I tried to stop but was panicked, and when I went to put my foot down I hit the crossbar, Dad's bike, and my hand slipped off the handlebars and my forearm dragged across a rough screw head on the shifter, 3-speed, and it gashed my forearm. But you avoided the banana peel, that's what matters. Smile. Posing and doing flashy moves with a carving knife, which I then proceeded to, instead of swishing at my side blade facing backwards, I instead shoved straight into the top of my thigh. Did the same thing, but with a crazy sharp hunting knife. 3.5 inches long, 2 inches deep cut. Ruined my favorite pajama pants and that year's trick-or-treating. Still have some tiny scars on my knuckles from practicing stupid moves with a butterfly knife. Pro tip, don't use double-edged butterfly knives. When I was a kid, my cousin and I were jumping on the bed. My aunt told us to stop and we didn't. 2 minutes later we bumped into each other mid-jump. I ended up with a scar on the left side of my face just above my mouth. Similar here, I was a dumb kid jumping from bed to chair while my mom was cleaning around the room. She moved the chair as I leapt from bed. In my attempt to adjust mid-flight, I somehow ending up doing a head dive to the floor. No one saw the nail protruding from the floorboard, but my head didn't miss it. 40 years later, still have a slightly smaller, Harry Potter-like scar dead center on my forehead, but no wizard magic came from it. This reminds me of when I was in 8th grade. I used to always jump onto my bed like a dolphin into an aquarium, and this one night I went too far and hit the top of my forehead on the edge of the headrest. Nice cut on my forehead and a lot of screaming inside my head. I told my parents and got yelled at. Ha. 2 hot cups of McDonald's coffee dumped in rapid succession on my leg at the drive-thru. I was buying 5 cups of coffee. You are that guy? Marshall Erickson? I guess everyone is going to wonder what this story was. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.